Welcome to Ear Biscuits, the podcast where
Biscuits.
two lifelong friends talk about life for a long time. I'm Link.
And I'm Rhett. This week at the round table of them lighting, we have some things that we're going to talk about. Isn't that convenient? You took a little trip for your anniversary.
Celebration.
Whoa, hey, don't make
celebration.
Don't make vagina like symbols with your hands when you talk about celebrate. I mean,
It's all in your head, man.
when I see a man put a V in front of his mouth, I think about a vagina.
It's a door opening.
And while you were doing that, I was had a little quick trip to North Carolina, and I had three humbling. Don't do the old man look at me. Don't do the quizzical old man. three humbling experiences.
You're really easily distracted.
And
that's trouble.
And saw three films, three humbling experiences in three films.
Unrelated. Every time you get humbled, you got to see a film.
Yeah. Hey, if you were watching the video right now, you'd see that I've got four vaginas in front of my face.
No, I see two. You're holding 2 threes up.
2 threes is 4 vaginas. I can't help it. I'm just a man. When somebody does this, I see 4 vaginas. When somebody does this, I see 2 vaginas.
So when
they put
child
it in front of their face, I'm sorry,
is counting on their fingers.
Don't bring children into this. You're sick.
Children come out of it.
That's true, Link. All right, then do bring children into this.
Mm-hmm. Yep. 25 years of marriage. That's what I celebrated. What did you celebrate?
Well, this weekend I celebrate 24 years of marriage.
Oh,
but
if you make it,
we were
Another week.
back in North Carolina. I've been in North Carolina a lot this year. My wife's been in North Carolina even more than me for something that I'm not going to tell you about until it happens. Very excited, especially
I know about it.
for my wife.
Okay.
Especially for my wife, but I was there.
I am interested
But I'm not
in
going to talk
hearing
about that. I'm going to talk
about you being humbled mostly.
Humbled.
I will say that I experienced something that I'm very used to, yet it was completely new. It was painful. It's had lasting adverse effects.
Massage.
And I still don't know if I'm going to be 100%. Yeah.
You were injured via massage?
Yes.
Oh my God.
And it was very invasive.
Oh, fingers? Prostate?
It involved fingers.
Oh God.
So that's my little teaser for you.
How do you want to do this?
I want to wait on that a little bit, but I want to tell you about I'm not going to tell you too much about the celebration because it was a private celebration amongst two committed individuals who have been
between is the word I would use.
Who've been together we've been amongst ourselves for 25 years. And in more ways than not, it's better. More ways than not, it's worth celebrating. Very grateful. We went to our happy place, which is Big Sur. We went to a nice resort. I mean, we splurged. We went to Alila Ventana.
Oh, I passed that place.
Which is on this hill overlooking the ocean if the sea breeze is right.
Does it have the little
yurts? Hobbit houses?
That are kind of like overlooking the ocean? I've seen the pictures on the internet.
It's higher elevation on the other side of the highway.
Does it have like the Ewok bridges between things?
No.
Bridges?
No bridges. Just paths. But the views are amazing. There's redwood trees. You can see out over the ocean if you're looking one way, and then if you look the other way, you're looking down into like the Big Sur Valley. And so the sunset, the weather was perfect.
It's on the, if you're going north, it's on the east side of the main road. So like up on that ridge that.
Yeah. Yeah. And it kind of looks down into the
valley.
Did
you see like any evidence of fires and stuff?
No, not right there. Of course, the whole
one of the places burned down somewhere.
Saw no evidence of that in Big Sur. I mean, there was a bakery that burned down, but that was just an
isolated fire.
Yeah, that was, I think, a kitchen fire. It wasn't like a wildfire or anything. And the landslide in between Santa Barbara and getting up to Big Sur was huge. It's taking out the road, and I don't even know if they're trying to fix it yet.
Why try?
So you have to go around the other way. You have to come in from the north side. Mm-hmm. We love it. It's probably our 5th time going back to Big Sur. Stayed at different places. This is certainly a very nice place. They knew that it was our 25th wedding anniversary. So when we would have a reservation at the restaurant or when we would do different things, people wanted to celebrate us, which made us feel very popular.
They would give you 25 towels, 25 soaps.
25 gold rings. Yeah. Christy signed up. They have activities that you can do there. And she had signed up for something that surprised me. A hike.
Okay, that doesn't surprise me. You're in Big Sur.
Yeah, we don't typically hike a lot.
Well, when you plan a hike,
because when I'm planning the hike,
if a professional,
it always is too much.
This is actually Christy protecting herself, because every time you are the one in charge, she gets in a situation where she ends up hating you a little bit more.
Yep.
This way,
this is 25 years of maturity, cashing in.
Yes.
We're gonna do this my way, and I was like, okay, I'm just along for the ride. We meet our guide. She is the person who's in charge of all of the activities, not just the hikes.
That seems like a fun job.
So it seemed like she got a fun job. And she took us in her car off-site to a hiking trail that a lot of people park and they'll try to go down to the beach. But if you go the other direction, you can go up into, you can follow this creek up. And they call it the Blissful Plunge, and I didn't quite know what that was.
Sounds like a cliff dive to me.
I knew it wasn't going to be a cliff dive because we were going away from the ocean.
Oh.
And then our guide starts talking about, I will give you the option to get in the water. You're wearing your bathing suit, right? So we're both wearing our bathing suit under our hiking clothes. And then it became clear to me that Christy was going to give me the option to take a cold plunge with this guide out in the middle of nature while she watched.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I gathered as I started getting more information.
A blissful plunge.
Yeah. But then, as we continued to hike up further in the woods, absolutely beautiful. Our guide kept saying things like, you don't have to do it, but it's an opportunity for you to embrace being uncomfortable, and a little bit of discomfort can be a good thing. And I was like, I'm letting her work her magic here. I see what's happening here. By the time we got up to the end of the trail, there was a little waterfall, and it made a pool, and it wasn't that deep. It was deep enough that if you were to sit down into it, the water would come up above your belly button.
Okay.
And then lo and behold, she's sitting us down, telling us what's going to happen. And I'm like, I've done a cold plunge before. I've done it a couple of times on the internet. It's a bit traumatic, but maybe I was playing it up for, entertainment value. This is just a private experience that now it seems like Christy is saying yes to.
But she's going to do it too.
She's going to do it. Because back at your birthday party when you bought that cold plunge years ago, and for your gift to yourself, you got all your friends to get in one after another.
Yeah.
And some of us felt like we were dying more than others.
Mm-hmm.
But Christy did not celebrate your birthday by getting in.
None of the women did.
None of the women did.
Only the men did.
I was super proud of both of us. We sat our asses down in this cold water, and then Christy, the good thing, I get quiet. I was like, I'm not being filmed. I'm just gonna look up. So I'm not gonna try to be an idiot here.
Oh, you're
I'm
only an idiot when you're being filmed?
That's right, Rhett. Exclusively.
I need to remember that.
I'm looking up at the trees. I'm in demonstrable pain from the cold.
How cold can this be?
Pretty cold. I mean,
but it's not ice melt, is it? Because Big Sur doesn't have that. It's like
melt.
Spring water or something?
I mean, she talked about how she went up there in January with like a group of CEOs and got them all in there. And that was January, so yeah. I'm certainly can get a lot colder. But it felt just like any ice bath that I've gotten in.
And the water was running, which makes sense.
And we only did it for like 3 minutes. But doing it for 3 minutes, you got to work up your gumption. Christy did a lot of talking, which I appreciated. It wasn't awkward. Like she was talking to the guide. Because the guy was like.
Does the guide also get in?
The guy was getting, she was in.
Of course.
She was in. She was acting like it was a big deal to her, but we both know it wasn't.
Right. She wants to make you feel normal.
Yeah. She asked us as we were getting in, is this the hardest thing you've ever been through in your marriage? Which was...
That's a little joke.
That was a little...
She's got that.
That was a little joke.
Back pocket.
But it teed up us talking, talking about some of the difficult things that we've been through.
Oh.
And so it became like
this... double as a therapist?
She was basically doubling as a therapist. She was opening up our world and embracing a little bit of pain.
Huh.
Yeah,
huh.
It was cool.
Right.
And like I said, I was proud of both of us. Surprised that Christy did it.
When it comes to hiring people, we're always striving for the best candidates. It's how we keep Mythical a well-oiled machine.
Mm-hmm. We trust the staff that we have. In fact, we don't even do most of the hiring directly anymore. So when new roles open up, we know that they are trying to find people that are going to become part of that trust.
And when it comes to hiring, Indeed is all you need. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. Indeed's sponsored jobs helps you stand out and hire fast.
With sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster.
And it makes a huge difference. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs.
Plus, with Indeed sponsored jobs, there are no monthly subscriptions, no long-term contracts, and you only pay for results.
There's no need to wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. You can get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/ears.
Just go to Indeed.com/ears right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on Ear Biscuits.
Indeed.com/ears, terms and conditions apply.
Hiring? Indeed is all you need. So then I come back from that rejuvenated and I'm ready to take a risk. And I also had a headache. And I was sitting in the room and I started pushing on my face, like it wasn't a headache as much as a face ache.
Interesting.
I don't know why exactly. I have my theories, but no need to go into
They're probably wrong.
They're probably wrong. So I started pushing on my face, and this is something I've done before, and I was like, wow, I can really find around my jaw that there's these pressure points where it's like if I push on the muscles, it's really tender, it hurts. Like around my eyes,
on
around
both sides?
Oh, everywhere. Like around my temples, I would find these places, and then
you might have gotten a brain-eating amoeba.
And then I'm glad you weren't there to like spitball solutions. But I knew that I was getting a massage the next morning, but I was like benefiting from my own massage right now. It's like my headache would go away when I would touch these pressure points in my face and around my jaw. And then I was like, you know what? I remember this thing that I've seen people do where they'll like massage inside of a mouth, like with the finger inside.
Oh yeah, you did that to me on Good Mythical Morning.
And I actually did it to you. I've forgotten that.
Yeah, not that long ago.
Was I wearing a glove?
Yes.
Okay, good. Well, how did I forget that? In the back of my mind, it existed, but I wasn't thinking of you at all.
I've seen people do this. I do it. I've seen me do it. I've seen me do it in my memory. To you.
It wasn't that long ago either.
No, it was very recent.
But for some reason, I remember when we did the cracked chiropractor commercial years ago, the guy put his thumb in that woman's mouth.
Yeah, he did.
And I'll never forget that. And so that's what I remembered. And so I started putting my fingers in my own mouth. And I started finding, like, exploring my mouth and finding, like, at the top of my gums.
Where were you when you were touching yourself like
on my private deck.
Could other people see you?
No.
Okay. Private deck. Completely private.
Private deck.
Okay.
Yeah. Clothing optional.
The whole resort?
No, just my private deck. There was also a pool and a Japanese onsen style heated pool that is clothing optional. But we had a hot tub on our deck.
Hold on, did you go to that one?
I checked it out, but then I didn't need to go there because I had a hot tub on my deck, which was private. But I did go in there.
But how many people do you think opt to be naked?
The only people I saw in there when I popped my head in were indeed naked. But here's the...
How many people?
3.
Oh, mixed company.
Yeah, well, yeah, they were different genders, but they were together. They knew each other.
I'm just saying.
And I closed the door.
3 people unless a throuple is mixed company.
I think it's mixed company. They're acquaintances.
Mm-hmm.
They're just soaking, man, in the pool.
I'm just interested.
By the way, it's just a heated pool with wooden partitions put up so that you're sharing all the same hot water, but you're not seeing anybody else.
The one that's in your room?
No, Rhett, the onsen.
Oh, I don't know anything about onsen.
Oh, it's like a Japanese pool with partitions up. So you can be in your own little segment of the pool and not see anybody else, but the water is shared by everybody.
So if you pee, it goes around it.
Yeah. So I didn't know exactly how I felt about that. Clothing optional, though. Poked my head in, saw that, went back to my deck, and started putting my fingers back up inside my face again.
Yeah, right.
And I realized around that time, I've never gotten fully acquainted with the top of the inside of my lips. Like if you just take your finger and you run it, kind of like how a dental hygienist would do to make sure you don't have like mouth cancer. It's good to get fully acquainted with your body. Invite all of it to the party, as my physical therapist once told me. And when I would get to certain places and push, like back here where I could get inside of my jaw a little bit and like push on my jaw and push on the muscles inside of my mouth, and I would experience relief. And I was telling Christy about it. She was like, well, that's sacral cranial massage. When you go get your massage tomorrow, you should tell them you have all this tension in your head and in your jaw, and they can probably do something about it. So we go to the massage the next day, and I was quite looking forward to it. We did like a couples massage thing. They had us in this 3-sided room that the 4th side was it was like an overlook out into the redwoods. And we had the private bathtub. We got to soak in this bathtub. And then we got out and we laid down on these massage tables and then they massaged us. It was amazing. But before we laid down, I told my masseuse about my discoveries.
I would like you to touch my mouth.
I said, I have a lot of tension in my jaw. And she's like, do you have TMJ? I was like, probably. She was like, well, I've done this for many years, and I can do a TMJ release.
Oh no.
And now that's inside of your mouth. I would put on a glove and I would go inside of your mouth. And I was like, yes, please. I'd done that to my friend. Forgot. It's so weird that I forgot. So towards the end of the massage, when I rolled over, then she put on the glove. And she just put her finger back here, and instead of feeling all around the top where like if you are a person who does dip, you might put dip or something like. She wasn't anywhere there. She put one finger in, and she went on the top, my top row of teeth, and she pushed back. She pushed back until you can, like the jaw part that like, when you get your teeth cleaned, you gotta hope you open your mouth halfway so they can get back there and clean the back teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Why you look so sus?
I just don't know where this is going.
She just took her finger and like poked it into like the back of my mouth, and immediately I was in the most pain I've ever been in a massage ever. I was in maybe one of the most pinpointedly painful things.
What noise did you make?
I've ever experienced. I breathed, and I was like,
"Well, you got to send more signals than that."
Well, I didn't want her to stop. She was like, "Is it tender?" I was like, "Uh-huh." She was like, "Do you want me to stop?" I was like, "No." She kept going. She told me later she was putting her body weight into it.
And did she feel something?
And then after a while, she could feel a little bit of a release. And I'd gotten to some of that myself.
Did you tell her
through
how
exploration
much
yesterday?
How hard you chewed?
No.
You maybe should have.
But that's part of it.
Prepared her for that.
So
it's like you're about to massage Arnold Schwarzenegger's pecs in 1975. Like this is essentially the strongest jaw you have.
Yeah, I was gonna
most worked jaw you have.
I was gonna leave it up to her to say that.
Okay.
Unprompted, but she didn't, and maybe she was, trained to not speak on things like that.
To not judge.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God,
you've got such a big jaw. It's really disproportionately muscular. It's weird. You've got a chewing problem, probably. It hurt really bad on both sides, but I knew it was going to feel good because there was going to be relief and release, some of which I'd experienced the day before. And I was happy. But then an hour later when I was sitting by the pool, just chilling out.
That's all it was pushing on it?
Just pushing on it for as long as I could bear. It's like if you push right here, but on the inside of your mouth, and it gets to something that's never been touched before. Felt raw.
I can tell.
It felt raw. I've never been this far before. And she took me further. But then I noticed when I was by the pool, a numbness that I still have. Right, if I were to draw a circle right here on my cheek,
she got a nerve.
I can't feel anything right now.
She compressed the nerve.
I can't feel anything.
It'll come back. It's just
and if I take my tongue and I lick the inside of my mouth, I know this is not pleasant.
Can't feel it.
If I lick right there, I can feel it's like my whole face is asleep.
I could tell you look different.
Do I look droopy on that side?
Yeah, I thought maybe you had a stroke.
No.
I wasn't going to say anything. I was going to say something later. No.
Does it look disproportionate?
No.
Does this sound like saggier?
I'm assuming the answer is no. Did Christy look? Christy probably looked something up. Did she look something up?
I didn't tell Christy.
Oh, and you didn't look anything up. You just decided to talk about it on this podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so Christy doesn't know. I didn't tell Christy.
I mean, I'm assuming without looking anything up that you've just aggravated a nerve.
The feeling is going to come back.
It'll go, it'll.
And if it doesn't, it's at a spot where I don't think I need to feel that.
No, you're going to bite the hell out of your cheek, and you're not going to know it. And you bite so hard, you're going to create a hole, and we're going to see into your mouth.
No. Don't be that way. It's not going to happen.
And it's going to be like that cow at NC State that has glass so you can see into its stomach. We're going to get glass installed in the hole that you made so we can see what you're eating. And you know what? We might get more clicks.
I could just spit it out.
What if we did that? What if we put a glass window into your mouth? The only show on the internet where the man has a glass window into his cheek.
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
If views keep going down, we'll do that.
They're not going down.
No, they're not. They're actually not going down. I'm just saying, if they start going down.
You said if they keep going down.
Well, they went down, for a while, and now they've stabilized.
Or they're coming back.
And they're actually coming back a little bit, I hear. I don't look.
Views are coming back.
But the
Now, views of this podcast, I don't know.
No, this podcast,
No.
not so much.
What's happening?
I don't know. It's because we started answering questions.
It's because we started complaining about how my jaw feels. I'm not going to bite the inside of my jaw because I can feel that. It's deeper. It's deeper within. It's more on the outside and back a little bit. But it is wild feeling. It's
Only
like,
on one side.
like that part. I wonder if the muscle's falling asleep too. If it's like completely relaxed.
I don't know how things work. I doubt it.
I would get it again though.
Okay, well, I won't. I'm not going to get it. But I don't have, I don't have that kind of, if you have headaches, TMJ headaches, it's probably something you need to get done on a regular basis.
Sacral cranial, like the last little bit where the muscles attach to like your bones, like on your neck, but then like around your temple. Like I can feel around my temple, and when I was having that headache, I could feel parts of the crater, like around the rim. Parts of it were like hanging on really tight, and if I pushed there, it would feel really good.
Yeah, I think you got a lot of.
I feel like
you carry a lot of tension in
it's
your
like my
face.
muscle, my body, my face is holding on to my skull for dear life.
Your face just needs to let go, but then the whole thing will just fall a little bit.
I know, and then I'll have to nip and tuck.
You can just get the Kris Jenner. Did you see that?
I've heard that she looks amazing.
Well, apparently there's a new plastic surgery that I heard someone explain it on a TikTok, and I can't remember what they do, but it sounded nasty. It was like they take the skin and they anchor it into a muscle somewhere. They like cut you open in several places, and like this is what all the celebrities are having done, and that's why all these people are looking. See, 65-year-olds are looking 35 now because they're doing this thing to everybody now. We're gonna have to get it done.
Just pulling everything back.
We're gonna have to be like this.
I think I'm doing that with the internal muscle. I've got the musculature.
And when
I've got too much skin. I need to pull the skin back to reveal the musculature.
that looks good. That looks good right there. Do that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's what you need to look like. And we'll get that done, and they'll install the glass window into your cheek. I got to get something. Maybe some window into something.
Yeah. And the inside of the other cheek can have a sponsor in it. So when you look through the window to the other side, you see sponsor.
Or you could do like a Magic 8 Ball thing where you have a little dice inside your thing, and it's a different sponsor every time. It's interchangeable.
So I shake my head and a new sponsor shows
New
up?
sponsor. You get paid every time.
What about answers that people need to know? That's what an 8 ball would have.
You could also do that. You could do a lot of things with that. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better.
But no, I'm not feeling it at all.
Okay.
Right there.
Yeah, I don't know how to comfort people who are suffering.
So weird. It's so weird.
I just say things. I have a few things that I go to. I'm glad you're feeling better, even if they don't. Even if they're not.
I'm gonna tell you right now. When I put my finger in your mouth, I did not do to you what she did.
No,
to me.
you didn't, because you weren't trained.
I didn't. But now that I've explored my own mouth,
you don't need to touch mine.
I highly recommend exploring your own mouth with a clean finger.
But what if you're not having any symptoms?
Like I was even having, like massaging my gums. I don't know. I think it's a thing in New Zealand.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
They massage babies in New Zealand.
I think that, just to be completely honest with you, I think the massaging thing has gotten out of hand. They're massaging horses and dogs, and
oh yeah,
I don't think anybody asked for this, especially the horses and dogs. Horses made it millions of years without getting massaged.
Yeah, well, and then there's chiropractic for the animals.
Unnecessary.
But they're making that noise with their mouth. Whenever they pop a horse's jaw, watch the mouth of the chiropractor doing stuff like that.
Lots of clicking going on. And it's added in post. Can I tell you a couple of stories?
Yeah, man.
Do you have anything else from your trip? We can come back to it.
We'll come back to it if it comes to mind. But those are the main things I wanted to tell you about. I've been married 25 years, and I got
Congratulations.
I got fingered in the mouth by an experienced masseuse.
Good.
Who gave me a deadening feeling that I don't know if it's going away. End of story.
It will go away. And if it doesn't, like you said, it doesn't matter. You can sue. Sounds like this resort has a lot of money.
I just gave it to him.
So The humbling episode. So back in North Carolina and land at the airport, thankfully. Am I right?
Yeah, you never know these days. We might end up.
Get my rental car, and we are exiting. Jesse and I are exiting the rental car facility, and the girl checking us out says, you look like somebody famous. And she was like, well, not famous.
There we go.
Oh,
You like somebody famous.
Well,
I'm
not
not famous.
And then she searched for words and found none. And I said, like somebody from Good Mythical Morning? And she's like, yes. And so
She still didn't know it was you, or at that point she realized
no, she did, but the thing about North Carolina versus California is that it is less likely if you live in North Carolina to run into somebody that you know from media, right? It's just
Yeah.
less likely. It's
Yeah.
not necessarily a hub for it is a kind of, but not as much as LA.
maybe you're a librarian.
Right. Yeah, right. From somebody you know from the Dewey Decimal System.
Mm.
But so, and I really appreciate what she was trying to say, which is when you think famous, you think
Movie star.
Brad Pitt. You don't think the guy from Good Mythical Morning.
No,
Not
never did.
famous. We need a different word. I don't disagree with her. But it seemed like this was a sign of things to come.
Oh, yeah?
Sign of things, humbling experiences with
Yeah.
fans and potential fans, possible fans. So,
I'm wondering why you think it's a sign of what's going to happen.
no, I'm just saying it in retrospect, it was an omen for a theme of the trip that would be revealed.
Oh.
I went to see a movie, which let me talk a little bit about. Well, first of all, you know what?
I'm going to let you talk about
I'm
it.
going to do this in chronological order. On the way, so I'm backing up out of chronological order. On the plane to North Carolina, I watched a movie that you, my friend, as a record shop aficionado, need to watch, and it's called Flipside.
Flipside.
And if you fly Delta, which is my favorite airline, your favorite airline,
Yeah.
not a sponsor yet.
Mm.
Chris Wilcha, I think, is the filmmaker. He is
Is it a documentary?
It's a documentary about him going back to the record shop that in New Jersey that he worked at in high school.
Okay.
Same guy still owns it, but the premise of the documentary essentially is that Chris got into the business as a documentary filmmaker, but then in order to make ends meet, he became a commercial director, a prolific commercial director that's made lots of funny commercials over the years. And that's what has paid the bills. But his passion, his calling as a documentary filmmaker. But one of the things that he has done is he has started many, many different documentaries and hasn't finished them. And this documentary is basically him putting together all of these half-finished documentaries and drawing out this really incredible theme.
Interesting.
Like I wept. I wept in this is a beautiful expression of creativity. Like it was very inspiring creatively.
Huh.
And but I just thought
I don't feel like I'm a weep.
you probably won't. But
I feel like you're putting on pressure that I need
no,
to weep when
no,
I watch it.
I weep very easily and stuff like that. But you will love it because the record shop of it all is really fascinating. In the way that is explored and music is explored.
Okay.
And
Flipside.
this now should be a place that you should add to your like list of places to make a pilgrimage to.
Oh, nice.
I
Thank
think
you.
after watching this movie, but
It's in Jersey, though?
yeah. And
Jersey's not really on my list.
well, I mean, you go to
Maybe it
New
will be.
York. It's not that far. Go to New York, take a trip down there. Watch the movie. And
I'll
then tell
watch
me.
the movie. All right, so that's the first one.
And
And then you get your rental car.
so then I get a rental car.
And
I
you
get
get-
almost famous. And then the next night, I was very excited to see another movie. Friendship. Oh my God.
Paul Rudd,
Tim Robinson.
Tim Robinson.
And I go to a movie theater in Chapel Hill, the Chelsea. Shout out to the Chelsea Theater. This is like an indie theater in Chapel Hill, and where you can't reserve seats. But I took my brother and his wife and their oldest son, and like we get to the theater, I was like, well, there's not assigned seats, so I want to make sure that we get a good seat. But I'm thinking, the movie's been out for a few weeks. We're in North Carolina. Like it wasn't showing in many places in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Which is not surprising. I mean, Tim Robinson is an acquired taste, you know. But I see a bunch of people going into the theater, and then we get in there, it's sold out. Like this independent theater, 2 or 3 weeks into the movie being out, has sold out a Saturday night showing of this thing.
And you're stuck.
No, we got good seats because we sent Jesse and Tressa in there to secure a row.
Mm-hmm. Put down the pocketbook.
Yeah, and
put down a jacket.
Let me just tell you.
No, we're together. These are taken.
Let me just tell you guys, and you, Link. I love this movie. I love it. In fact, this movie has given me a reason. This has finally pushed me over the edge to start a Letterboxd account.
Oh.
And my only movie review that's on there when you watch this is probably going to be Friendship.
What about Flipside?
You know what? Flipside. I'm adding that to it. And also another movie I watched on the way back. So I'll do that. So anyway.
I was nervous about this movie because it's about friendship. We're friends.
Yeah.
We make a lot.
I've heard.
We make a lot to do about friendship, our own friendship in general. It's a big part of our identity.
Our brand.
Our public identity and our private identity as
That's a
actual
reason
friends.
to watch it, first of all.
But because we mine our friendship for all the stuff that so much of what we create, it's kind of a through line to it. I felt a little scared, and I'm still a little scared that it's going to take something off the table.
I wouldn't be scared. So I think the thing that I have, one of the ways that I have dealt with the thing that you're talking about, which is this angst that happens when creative people watch other creative things, and especially people who feel like they have yet to create their best work, which is my perpetual state. I always think that the next thing is the best thing. And I have so many things that I want to get to, that I want us to create. But what Rick Rubin's book, which I'm rereading again, I think it is my Bible now.
The Creative Act.
Yeah. So
it's lacking stories, but go ahead.
Yeah, it's.
I wish I had more stories.
It's Proverbs.
Yeah,
it's Proverbs, and the thing that I have really embraced is this idea that the only thing that you can do as a creative person is create your best work. Like, it's the thing that makes what you make special is you. And what you're trying to do is you're actually trying to distill and hear your own voice, and then bring your own perspective and your own voice into the world. And our voice and our perspective is very different than Tim Robinson's voice.
Sure.
And so, but the thing that I love about this movie, spoiler alert for my Letterboxd review, I cover some of this over there. And maybe I'm not going to spoil anything about the plot, but Link believes that any information about a movie is a spoiler, and if you're in that camp, then spoiler alert. But Tim Robinson is polarizing because he is so specifically silly. It is his show. I think he should leave on Netflix, which is one of my favorite things on television. One of the favorite things that's happening in comedy in general is based on his specific silliness. And if you don't like it, you don't like anything that he does. And if you really like it, you'll like everything that he does. And I knew that I was in a group that loved Tim Robinson when literally the first shot of him, where he just kind of, Kate Mara plays his wife, and like she's talking in the opening scene, and they sort of like rack focus to him, and everybody laughs. And then he says something that's not a joke, and the entire theater bursts out. And I was like, I'm in the right place, Chapel Hill. Of course, I should have known that this was going to have this. As much as I hate your school, UNC Chapel Hill, I love your people, and it was just a really great crowd that continued to burst into laughter throughout, but also to cringe and to audibly say things like, "Oh no, oh my God!" Like people were saying that because you see. The self-implosion that happens in the movie is just remarkable in the best Tim Robinson way. And Paul Rudd is immaculate. And
so who wrote it, who directed it? Is that
Andrew,
part of the
Andrew DeYoung, who I did not know about, wrote and directed this. And if you look at his credits, there's not anything that I recognize. He hasn't done a whole lot. He's worked in TV as well, but he tapped into something. And the thing that I love so much about it is that I had some doubts about how Tim Robinson's absolute idiocy would translate to a feature. And I thought, well, he's going to tone it down. He's going to tone it down, and people are going to be like, Tim Robinson's performance in this is so whatever. And no, Tim Robinson is exactly the same guy, exactly the same guy. And it translates so well. And it works so well opposite Paul Rudd and like his cool charm, and also Kate Mara's absolute commitment to being just a serious character. It just works so well, and you'll love the plot and the choices and the things that happen, and there'll be a little bit of that, like, damn, will we ever make anything this good? For sure, you'll think that, but we will, man, we will,
and it's fine.
And
I got to see it then.
And
it seems like you saw it in the best environment. I mean, to see a comedy that you're really looking forward to.
With a bunch of people who are loving
people that are uproariously.
And my brother laughs so loud. There's a couple of times where Cole just was the only one laughing. And it was just really loud because he'll laugh at the unexpected things that like no one else thought was funny, that maybe weren't even supposed to be funny. But I just loved it. It's my favorite movie of the year. And a lot of people will hate it.
How long is this? It's like 90 minutes.
Yeah.
94 minutes.
You got to figure out a way to massage your face halfway.
96,
do an
96
intermission
minutes.
or something.
I could probably do 96 minutes.
Think about how much Survivor you've watched. Think about how much of your life you've wasted watching Survivor, and just bring some of that and devote it to art. That's what you got to do, man.
Survivor is quite a form of art.
Okay, in some circles. So anyway, you will
the editing alone.
You'll love this movie, and many of you will hate it, and I will judge your sense of humor for hating it secretly. So you got to see that.
But what I really care about is you getting humble again, because you owe me 2 more.
And so so while I was waiting in line to go into the theater, I had a guy turn around. He was in front of me. He saw me. He was like, Rhett? What? Rhett? Oh man. I watched the show all the time as a kid. Do you get recognized a lot? This is a difficult question to answer.
Yeah, people do want to know that.
Because I think, again, I understand. To put myself in the shoes of the woman who helped me check out when she's like, you're not famous. And to put myself in this guy's shoes, it's like, well, you're just a guy from YouTube. I get it. I'm just a guy from YouTube. It's exactly. Like you could also be a guy from YouTube. Anybody can. You don't have to pass a test. You don't have to get recognized by anybody. And so I think
he had to be curious of like, is what is happening
to me. Is this the
me?
first time that this has happened to him in a year? Or is this the 7th time this has happened today?
Right.
And I think people have no idea that
he seems to lean towards
it's the latter.
I'm giving him a special gift of recognizing him in a backhanded kind of way.
Yeah. And so I don't know what to say. I'm just like, it happens quite a bit. You know, it happens quite a bit.
None as good as this one.
It happens quite a bit.
There's a line behind you, bro.
And so again, just not too humbling, just a little bit. Just one of those slightly awkward interactions, you know.
Do you get recognized a lot? Or is it just me? Am I the only one that's recognized?
Yeah.
But you ever been recognized by anybody besides me? You know, there's lots of ways you could ask it.
Yeah, right.
None are any better.
But then it was on the way back that the next and biggest experience happened. So, but I had to get up really early.
Oh, you're on that damn early
I'm
flight.
on that 6:30 flight out of RDU.
Now, the last time you were on this flight, I was curious when you were getting back, and I just happened to see on the internet that somebody took a picture.
Oh,
with you.
people take pictures of me at
like
5 a.m.
5 a.m.
I look like a 70-year-old man.
5 a.m. in like the airport. I'm just
Yeah,
like-
look, I never refuse a picture at the airport, but I always look bad.
But that's why you should wear. You wonder why I wear sunglasses in the airport.
I don't wear sunglasses in the airport because I don't want to be the guy wearing sunglasses in the airport
Yeah, you're just that guy who's almost famous,
who looks old.
who looks really tired in the airport.
Well, I was. I don't mind those pictures going around on the internet. It's like there's so many bad pictures of me on the internet.
Oh,
that-
I didn't mean to insinuate it was a bad picture. You look great.
it was a bad picture.
I mean, we all know I've had the worst picture, so I can say that.
So, and I did get another one while I was waiting in line. Like two, I think maybe 3 people got pictures with me before I got through security. And I'm just like, here I am. But the thing is that I set my alarm for 4 a.m. And then I woke up and I looked and it's 5:30 a.m. And I'll tell you right now, I have grown because I did not immediately panic. I was like, I just said, you know what? I leaned over to Jesse. I said, I missed my flight.
Because she wasn't flying back with you.
Right. And because my flight was at 6:30, it takes, like 40 minutes to get to the airport. And so anyway, I just called the Delta number, and said what happened, and they got me on a connection through Detroit.
Oh, Detroit.
Which turns out I might start doing that flight more often because you don't have to get up so damn early. I just don't like connections because flights get delayed so much these days, and then you get that. Anyway,
Right. You're stuck into the Detroit airport.
but without this new flight path, this thing would not have happened to me. So I'm
Okay.
on the second leg from Detroit to LA, 4.5-hour flight.
Previously humbled, but not humbled enough.
And, there's no way I can I'm sitting in the front of the plane. Okay. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm sitting in the front of the plane. That's where I sit. And,
You're not piloting it.
I'm a co-pilot now. Have you not heard? I'm on row 1. As a matter of fact, because I got, it was last minute, and I guess that's where the option was.
Okay.
So I'm sitting down to enjoy my flight. I'm going to do some work. That's what I do when I fly. I watch a movie, I do some work, and usually in that order. And I'm kind of settling in. I'm actually reading a little bit. And like 20 minutes into the flight, I'm like, the guy next to me opens up this drink. And as soon as he opens up the drink, I just smell this horrible smell. It smells like vomit. I'm like, what the hell, bro, are you drinking?
Oh.
And I look at it and I'm like, it just looks like it is like white. Is it milk? Is he drinking spoiled milk? I didn't know what was happening.
What?
And then he seals it back up and,
He took a swig?
oh yeah. 5 minutes later, I smell it again, but he has not opened the drink. I'm like,
Oh,
uh-oh,
no.
what's going on?
He burped.
No. And then I look to my right, and there is an old lady sitting right across the row from me, and she's like with her daughter, who's an adult like my age. But this lady's probably, 75. Doesn't look like she's in particular good health, and she doesn't look like she's doing well at the moment
Oh, no.
because she is vomiting into a giant trash bag
Oh, no.
that they have handed her. And it I'm like, oh, this woman's been vomiting. It's not my boy's drink over here. It was just timing.
Oh, wow.
It was just timing. It's just like he opened it up and she's vomiting. I'm like, oh God, what are you drinking?
There's a weird sound coming out of it, too. It's like, bleh. Bleh.
No sound because I got my headphones in. And I felt bad at the time, but I was like, I'm the last person.
Not as bad as her.
I'm good at a lot of things But like, knowing what to do when someone is suffering is not one of my things, okay? Like God didn't give me that. He gave me a lot. He didn't give me any of that. And so she continues to vomit, and I'm getting concerned because she just doesn't look well. And then I noticed that the flight attendant begins to interact, and then the flight attendant gets on the horn and says, are there any medical personnel on board? There were 4 doctors/nurses, and they all came to the front.
So why did you raise your hand?
Why didn't I raise my hand?
Why did you?
I didn't raise my hand.
Good. Just want to make sure.
So 4
medical
people
coming up there to the front, huh?
And this is, again,
That might shift the weight of the plane.
45 minutes into the flight. Well, they proceeded to stay there the entire time.
Oh no.
This woman went through a lot. I felt bad. She had oxygen. They had the pulse meter, the oxygen thing.
And you were right next to her.
I was right there next to her, and the people were like standing in my seat. I'm trying to watch a movie. And
trying to get some work done here.
trying to watch a movie, which you have had to see the Yacht Rock documentary.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
I saw that one.
Which was just great. I loved it. And learned a lot.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And then like tried to listen to Steely Dan, and it was like, okay. Even right after this documentary, I still can't get into it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, okay, some stuff, yeah, but then I'm just like,
it's like Tim Robinson. Acquired
yeah,
Taste.
it is.
Well, different that if you like Steely Dan, that doesn't mean you're going to like all Steely Dan. I don't like all Steely Dan.
Right. Like, like listening through Aja, it's like, okay, I get why this was impressive. I know that it's impressive. There's no question of it being impressive.
Yeah.
It's a question of like, do I want to listen to it again?
Right.
I don't know. Just something about it.
Maybe not.
So
maybe not in its entirety.
So they continue to deal with this woman and to get her up to go to the bathroom at one point.
Was her like child helping? Her adult
She was
child?
doing all she could, but but they weren't stopping the plane. I was worried that would happen.
Yeah.
I wanted to make it home. But if they needed to, obviously they would have. But they had determined that no, and then
you saw him putting a parachute on her at one point.
Yeah, right. And these 4 people stayed up there. God bless the medical heroes in our lives, because these people really did a lot for this woman and got her through the flight. And I wasn't really watching what was happening, but it got intimate a number of times. I don't know what was happening exactly, but
finger in mouth?
More than that. But they were handling things, and I was definitely, I felt bad because I didn't want to get like vomit pieces like on me, like from across the aisle, when people start vomiting. And
yeah.
So I was like, every time she went for the bag, I was like, I'll make sure she got that bag. Make sure it's in the bag. Because poor me. I was eating my food.
Oh, you had a meal.
I had a meal. I was in the front of the plane, remember? I'm not a snack box guy. So anyway, I'm just being honest. I'm just saying I'm just saying it. You're going to hate me for it, whatever.
You're chowing down on your meal. And
and there's vomit happening, and it's tough. It's tough to eat when somebody's vomiting, just being honest with you. I haven't gotten over that yet.
Yeah,
I haven't fully evolved to eat with vomit happening with 2 feet away.
Yeah. But
I've been trained.
You tried.
I've been trained by you doing it.
I've done my best. Yeah. I've done my best to help you out.
But you're not actively vomiting. You're just not able to get stuff down. You don't have like an acidic smell coming from you that's permeating all my food. I'm like trying to eat flan. Like, flan with a hint of vomit. So
that's bad for you, man.
So anyway,
I'm so sorry for you.
Yeah, I really had it rough.
And only you.
This woman, she had it pretty rough, but I had it really rough. So anyway, they're continuing to help her, and this is where I got humbled in my own mind. Not just so you understand. the flight attendant comes up to me there's about 40 minutes left until we land. And she leans down and she's like, hey, I need to ask you something. And then she was like, do you know what I'm going to ask you? And I was like,
would I like another seat? Yes.
And I was like, yeah, said something like that. Because I thought she's going to ask me if I was from Good Mythical Morning. Because people, that line, do you know what I'm going to ask you?
Yeah, it's happened.
And then she proceeds to explain to me that what she is asking me is not if I am almost famous or if I get recognized on a regular basis. No, it's can I go back to one of the seats of one of these people that has been helping the whole time and give my seat to them while we're landing so that she could have
a care.
But what I thought she was asking, because she did not explain that, she said, could you go back to 19D? And again, what am I thinking?
You're almost famous.
There's a fan back there.
You still thinking that?
Because again, that exact thing has happened on a plane several times where a flight attendant comes up and is like,
yeah.
There's somebody back there who's a big fan. Can you go back there?
Yeah, yeah.
And then she was like, not right now. Just right before we land. And I'm like, right before we land, you want me to go back to meet a fan?
Yeah, you were dead set.
And then I was like,
famous.
I was like, what's her name?
Oh! Her? What's her name?
Because she was like, because she was explaining, it's hard to hear on a plane. She was like, she is in 19D. She is in 19D.
Yeah. Yes.
And I'm like, what's her name? And then she turns directly to the nurse that's been there the whole time. And she's like, what's your name?
And I hope at that moment you started putting it together.
I was like a beautiful mind. And I was like, holy shit. This whole time. And so I started feeling guilty on 7 layers, right? The first one was, I was like, oh, should I have offered to move 3 hours ago?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, why me? I guess because I'm right across from this woman.
Because you weren't doing anything to help.
But there was so many people attending to her.
Yeah, that needed a place to be.
But they were all like crouched around and moving around. They were just doing stuff the whole time.
Okay.
I mean, again, yes, I wasn't thinking that maybe I should move. Next time this happens to me, I'll think that earlier. But then I was like, okay, yes, and then the other thing she told me, before I understood what she was asking, she said, I'll give you some Sky Miles for this. And I was like, you don't need to give me Sky Miles.
Oh, you said that?
Yeah, I was like, don't give me Sky Miles.
You said that out loud.
I was like, don't worry about that. And she was like, no. And so then when she would turn to her,
you gonna give me Sky Miles to greet a fan?
Yeah. All this, I'm like, shit.
I'm too big of a person for that.
She
too considerate.
Wants me to go back and sit in this woman's seat so that she could sit here while we're landing. So, there's 15 minutes to go on the flight or whatever. I get up, I go, and I sit back there. Now, the nurse did say, as soon as I stood up, she said, oh, I didn't realize you were that tall. I feel bad now. It's like, oh, don't worry, I'm getting Sky Miles for this.
As long as I get those Sky Miles that I didn't want, because I definitely do want those now that I understand what's being asked of me.
Yeah.
And it's not special treatment.
So I went back and sat, and it's tough, man.
Oh God,
my legs are totally like up on the seat in front of me.
Main cabin?
Main cabin. It's not exit row. And so anyway, I sat there.
Did everybody applaud when you walked by?
Yeah, they were like, the real hero.
Yep.
The guy who just came up from the front of the plane is going to row 19.
Yep. He should have been here earlier, but he was too busy eating his meal.
And watching his movie.
Watching his
Watching his yacht rock movie. Like totally focused on it. and then listening to Steely Dan. Like, let me see if I can enjoy this.
Boy, you became a well-rounded dick on that flight.
I already was though. That's the thing. It was revealed.
Here
So,
we
yeah.
have the well-rounded
Yeah.
dick.
So anyway,
Seat 1,
but
row 1.
But let me just say, can I just say how I feel like the victim here? If that, I do want to
Please.
say that, is that being almost famous, you really,
It's tough.
you really, 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 really got a lot of things going for you that it'll make you a dick. It'll make you a dick. Because
You're not famous enough to be recognized.
when people come up to you and say things like, do you know what I'm going to ask you? Or, hey, excuse me. Because 98% of the time that happens, it's because you're almost famous.
Yeah.
You begin to assume. In fact, the other thing that happened was I was waiting to get on the plane and there was a lady looking right at me and she was like, you know, he looks just like, you know who you look just like? And then she turns and she says something. And then I like didn't know that she was talking to me specifically. I wanted to be like, okay, maybe she's not talking to me. And so I look down and then as I'm walking up to go through the line, she's looking at me. And I'm like, were you talking to me? And she's like just staring me down. And she was like, no, I'm talking to that guy. He looks like the coach of the Detroit Pistons.
Are you talking to me?
Well, she wouldn't stop
No, I'm
looking
talking to
at
a
me.
famous person beyond you. Give me a break, guy.
So again, that's a fourth story. Like this was the theme of this trip. Humbled by the universe. And what I'm saying is that
Go to the back.
when I
homie.
say that I feel like a victim, is that I try to be conscious of this thing. I try not to be. I know that the privilege that I have because of how things have gone for us is something that can make you into an asshole, can make you into a privileged douche, all this stuff. I try to like not be that guy as much as I can, right? I'm trying to be cognizant of it. But sometimes when somebody asks you, do you know what I'm about to ask you? I guess the lesson I've learned is just to be like, no.
Well, I mean, that's kind of a cold-hearted delivery.
Well, what am I? No, I don't.
I think I do, but I'm probably wrong.
I'm probably wrong. No, I don't know. I'm just saying it's a little bit of a setup. It's a little bit of a setup.
It's a trap.
It's a little bit of a trap.
I think the application, whenever I'm asked, do you know what I'm about to ask you, is now going to be, well, you want me to move to the back of this plane? I'm not even on a plane.
Yeah.
I'm at a deli. Get it? Yeah, I'll humble myself. I mean,
The thing I felt most bad about
you want to
was
start at the back of the plane and be invited to the front.
the thing I felt most bad about was how it had not even crossed my mind that I should move until she asked me. But again, they were all just kind of like, they were helping her and they were like crouched down next to her, like
then-
actively dealing.
And
It
then
wasn't,
maybe they're going to stabilize and then they're going to go back to their seats.
I kind of thought that was going to happen as well. It never did.
Did you think at any point she was going to die?
I was worried that it might happen. But it seems like it's tougher for people to die than you realize.
Yeah, especially when there's 4 people watching them.
I mean, people do. I read a story about a person that died on the plane and they just kept the guy. They didn't, he just died.
Hushed it.
No, they just kept him in the seat and they just continued to fly. Because well, he's dead now.
That's pretty standard.
And
Yeah.
somebody had to just fly next to this dead dude.
Could have been you.
Yeah, I think I could have handled that though. Sitting right next to him though. I mean, there was a gap.
I think you could have still eaten your meal if she'd have died.
Oh, I would have.
I
I was
mean,
hungry, man.
Right, because what else are you going to do?
I was really hungry. That was my first meal of the day.
It's a big one.
Yeah.
If it's been delayed. If you've taken pictures with fans, You're exhausted.
So I was a bit of a dick, but I feel like I was
You're not supposed to do things unless you're asked.
I was a dick. I was a dictum. I was a dictum. So I was a dick, but I was the victim of circumstances that made me into a dick. I'm a dictum.
Yeah, you are.
There's a lot of people who are bigger dicks than me. I'll
Yeah,
just be
yeah.
honest with you. Like real celebrities.
Oh,
Real celebrities.
and you
Yeah.
don't want to be really famous because then you can't even be on the flight. The amount of people that are interacting with you, it's just, you can't even get anything done.
Well, I did recently read an article about our buddy Pedro Pascal riding coach.
Oh, yeah.
He is about a foot shorter than me, though. I will say.
I mean, and if you get on a flight last minute, you gotta sit where you can.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe they said, "Do you know what I'm about to ask you?" And they moved him back there. That could have happened. One more thing about my wedding anniversary. Would you like for me to read part of the card that I wrote for Christy?
Sure.
And would you like for me to read part of the card that she wrote for me?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I can't do that because both of our cards had no writing in them.
Invisible ink?
No, we both bought cards for each other, and neither one of us wrote in our cards, but we brought them. So that's where we are in our marriage, and we were loving every minute of it.
So was it the kind of thing that
You know, you buy a card, and you're
somebody was like, I haven't written in it yet. And she's
I'll
like,
write
I
in
haven't
this.
written in mine yet either. And so we're like,
Yeah.
okay, well,
And
let's just exchange them.
let's not even exchange it. Let's just let's tell what we were going to write in the card. So
That's sweet.
we talk to each other about what we've written in the card, somewhat.
You know what you can do in
And then
that scenario?
we didn't even show each other the cards.
Oh, well, so you can save them for later.
Yep, we can use them next anniversary. Or maybe we'll save it for our 50th.
You can do what my mom does with a card, which is write a sentence maybe, but take what was written in the card and underline some words, double underlines others, circle.
Yeah.
Just emphasize certain words that someone else came up with.
Yeah. I like that. It lets you know that you didn't write it, but you mean it.
Yeah, I really mean this part. Son.
But the fact that we were so on the same wavelength about it's kind of like when you make plans and then you look over and you're like, you want to just stay home? Like, yes. And then you both get so excited because you're just going to stay at home and watch something on the couch and order takeout. You know, that's kind of how it felt. Oh, we love each other completely. We don't need to be scribbling down something on a card.
Yeah.
Life's too short. We need to be together.
Right.
So that's what we did.
Well, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I recommend it. It wasn't a neglect thing. It was an understanding. And to be on the same
It only
page.
works when both it goes.
Yeah,
both
you
ways.
both got to do it. Both got to do it. And she joked about it first. She was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to write that in your card because I have not written in it yet. I was like, oh, I've written in your card. You should see all the stuff I've written in it. And that's how we found out. We were just joking about it.
It would probably only work with her going first and admitting that.
Oh, yeah, I waited for her to go first. Otherwise, I would have been waiting for her to doze off or to go to the bathroom so I could scribble a little bit more in the card. You know. Maybe you think that's sad. Maybe you're listening and you're like, you know what? The Neils, boy, they're sad. The fire has gone out after 25 years. They don't even write in their cards to each other. Well, you couldn't be further from the truth.
Because writing nothing is the most romantic thing of all.
Yep. We're on another level. The most romantic level. Beyond words.
Well,
You seem humbler.
yeah,
It's good.
yeah.
It's good.
But I really want you to watch Flipside, and I'm
gonna watch.
I want
Flipside.
to. I want to meet this Chris Wiltshire guy.
Oh,
He's here in L.A.
okay.
His passion is documentary filmmaking,
Let's meet him.
and but you need to watch Flipside.
Okay. What you need to watch Survivor.
I've seen it.
You know who's going to be in the 50th season?
I don't care.
Mike White. He's coming back.
Okay, I might watch that.
The creator of White Lotus.
I'll watch it because he's made something great that I watched and enjoyed.
Yeah, and he loves Survivor.
Yeah.
So what does that tell you?
Well, he also
like me.
is making White Lotus. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, fine.
Yeah.
Fine. All right. Quick reminder, if you want to step up to the challenge of making us laugh, we're setting up an exercise where you can do that over on the Mythical Society. Go over to mythicalsociety.com. You can submit a joke in writing, or preferably you can submit yourself delivering a joke in a little video. Role reversal, you know? We like to think we make you laugh occasionally. So now we'd like for you to try to make us laugh sporadically. mythicalsociety.com.
Do it.
And we'll talk at you next week.
Hi, my name is Sarah. I am a longtime watcher and listener, first-time caller. I've watched your videos for years and years, and I've listened to your podcast every single episode. I'm having quite a rough week, and I'm listening to your most recent episode about Jenna and Joe's bonus and the book, and I just wanted you guys to know that a lot of people find you very comforting and like a safe place, because I know that's what I've been doing this week, is watching you guys at night and helps me fall asleep. Thanks for making me smile.